What's up, you guys? My name is Griff, and in this video I'll be analyzing a match I played against the Trickster while I was solo queuing. And for an item, we're bringing a first aid kit with 24 charges. We are also bringing bandages, which give us 8 additional charges. I'm also going to be running medical scissors, which moderately increases healing speed. And for perks, I'm going to be running Kindred, Sprint Burst, Iron Will, and Unbreakable. Kindred is a really good perk in solo queue. Not only do you get to see your teammates' auras when somebody else is hooked to see if you should go for that save or not, which is a great time management tool, but also when you get hooked, your teammates can see where everyone else is, including the killer's aura within a certain range. So probably my favorite perk right now. Sprint Burst, we all know what Sprint Burst does. Iron Will, so I can be a little bit stealthier, not make any noise while I'm injured. And Unbreakable, just in case we get into some sort of slugging situation. I did not bring a 5th anniversary cake for this match. I know, I'm a monster. So we end up getting the game as our map, which is a very survivor-sided map, especially with the update that happened a few months ago. There's so many good palettes, and it's also really nice because 3-genning isn't as common. The main gen situation you want to be worried about is how many gens are getting repaired downstairs compared to upstairs, and to get a good balance between those two. So here I hear the Terror Radius kind of snuck up on me, but we had Sprint Burst and we have this really good window that takes us downstairs. So here he goes after Jane, downs her, and I make a kind of silly move here. I wanted to go back to the generator that Jane and I had been working on to get more progress on it, but he ended up taking her to that hook, which prevented me from doing so. And here he ends up hovering a little bit around the hook, and because of Kindred, I'm able to see the killer's aura within a certain range. So here I just wait for the perfect opportunity. After unhooking Jane, though, he comes straight back. I don't have borrowed time, and for a second here, I kind of leave Jane to fend for herself. Then I realize I should be taking aggro, throw this pallet mostly for distance because I know I can make it to the window. Chances of him getting enough knives out to down me is very low. And I just start healing here. Takes about 14 seconds, I think. And I love playing solo queue matches. However, self-care is very critical because a lot of the times your teammates are not going to be as coordinated as a Swift would be. Can't tell them where you are. You know, sometimes they just refuse to heal you. So my tip would be to either bring self-care or a med kit. And in this case, I brought a med kit with an add-on that makes the healing go faster. And it takes me about 20 seconds, I think, to end up finding a generator to work on. The game can be tricky with that. Sometimes it feels like you're just going in circles and you can't find a gen for the life of you. But I end up finding one on the top floor in the middle of the map, which is a very good place to get early gens done, because then you can spread out more. And it's much easier for killers to patrol middle gens than it is corner gens. So after the Trickster hooks here, because of Kindred, I can see what direction he is going. He goes in my direction, however, I don't really hear his terror radius close enough to where I feel like I should start running away. And then right around here, his terror radius fades, and I'm considering he probably has Tinkerer, and looking around, I then have him pop up right in front of me, sprint burst away, take a couple of knives, and then I'm able to get to a decent pallet. I believe I get around this like 1 or 2 times, and then he M1s me. Not sure about that one. And here, once I realize he's going to continue chasing me, I head downstairs towards these 2 god pallets where I can be super safe no matter which way he tries to approach it. And then I realize he's not chasing me anymore, so I take another about 14 seconds to heal up and go back to looking for a generator. Now, I did hear him above me. I didn't think he was as close as he was. I kind of forgot about Tinker here for a second, so starts to chase me, throws a couple of knives, and then drops it. And because of that little excursion to this part of the map, I was able to hear the Hex Totem. I'm assuming it's Ruin. It ends up being Ruin, and from this point forward, he doesn't have the same kind of pressure that he did before. Oftentimes, again, I keep saying, if you're solo, it's important to look for Hex Totems because people won't be as coordinated and organized on the generators, so the sooner you get that out of the game, the better. And here, I decide to commit to the generator along with Leon. Take a hit and then sprint burst away because that would be much more efficient than risking him having pop and then possibly patrolling that gen for, you know, the rest of the match. So here he picks up Jane, who had just gotten off of hook, and thankfully she had DS because a 3v1 with 2 gens left would not be very easy to pull off. And thanks to heals from Mr. Jake, we were able to work on this generator without having to worry about Tinker, because we could easily just take a hit and vault the window to go downstairs again. So Jane ends up bringing the killer towards us, but having her at death hook, I decided to sprint burst up the staircase in case Trickster just kept going after her. I was going to take a hit or even block that window until he had to hit me. And once he hooks Jake here, I make sure that he's committing towards either chasing me or kicking the generator before heading up the staircase towards the window again. And he does end up pretty much ignoring me and kicking the gen. Right now, my #1 priority is that generator. Has a decent amount of progress. My sprint burst is 99, and it's next to a very strong window. So I'm going to keep going back to it, and hopefully my teammates waste his time enough to where we can get it done. Jake's coming over to keep me company. How nice of him. So here, I'm confident enough that he won't injure me with his knives to where I keep walking and don't use my sprint burst. Ends up being a good move, even though it was a little bit risky. And here, Sprint Burst comes in clutch again, as even though I had seen his aura on the other side of the wall, I didn't think he was coming to my generator for some reason, so only thing that happens here is I'm one knife away from being injured, and then he decides to go upstairs to chase Jake and Leon. I know that Leon is Death Hook, and as soon as I hear a generator here, I run to it as fast as I can, because I know that once it becomes a 3v1, the match becomes significantly more difficult to win. And here, Trickster sneaks up on us with Tinkerer. Jane ends up blowing the gen, but I don't know if he didn't hear me or decided to commit to her because he knows she's Death Hook, but I end up getting this done. And very lucky for us and for Jane, she ends up having adrenaline. So I make a mistake here seeing Jane coming down the stairs and not hearing a terror radius at first. So in my mind, I thought that Trickster had either gone to patrol the gates or maybe started chasing the Jake. But unfortunately, he finds Jane, downs her, and ends up hooking her. I wait for my sprint burst to get back so there will be no close call at the gate. And once he picks her up, I make a break for it. And because of Kindred, once again, I can see where my teammates are, see where I need to be. Jake throwing down a pallet and using his any means necessary. What a gamer. And yeah, we end up getting out. I'd like to thank you guys for watching this video. It's my first ever YouTube video. I know it wasn't great, but I did my best. And actually had a lot of fun playing in this match, analyzing it, editing it. So yeah, my goal is to make this a weekly thing for the channel, these analysis matches. And yeah, I will see you guys next week.